Good evening, everyone. I'm Rajiv Latezia, a 2000 graduate of the NEOMED College of Medicine and president of the NEOMED Alumni Association. So in the interest of time, we will go ahead and proceed with the program this evening, but in the meantime, please continue to enjoy your meal as we begin. So welcome to the 2024 Alumni Awards Dinner. We're delighted that all of you are here tonight to celebrate as we reconnect with old friends and recognize 7 transformational members of our community. After 15 years of building a base of graduates who moved on to practice medicine, the NEOMED Alumni Association was established in 1995 to support alumni and students through a variety of programs. We offer alumni the chance to build and maintain relationships with one another, provide ways to remain active within the community, and encourage alumni to make a lifelong commitment to the university's mission. Over 25 years later, our association has grown to include alumni from the College of Pharmacy, the College of Graduate Studies, and soon we'll welcome ultimately graduates from the new College of Dentistry. We have over 5,000 alumni who graduated from NEOMED, and many of these alumni have gone on to be transformational leaders in their various fields. As your alumni association, we want to celebrate their accomplishments of all our graduates and provide an opportunity for all of you to stay connected with one another and your alma mater. With alumni in over 50 fields of health care represented across 200 institutions, we make up a strong network of healthcare professionals dedicated to serving members of our communities. Several former and current alumni association members from the board of directors are with us this evening. I'd like those directors to rise and be recognized for their service. Please rise. Thank you. So it's now time to move on to this year's presentation. Each year, the Alumni Association calls for nominations for our various alumni awards. These nominations come from fellow alumni, university leadership, faculty, staff, and community leaders. Once the nominations are submitted, the awards committee meets to vet the candidates and recommend the finalists for approval by the entire board at the Alumni Association Board of Directors meeting. So with that, on to the awards. The first award of the evening is the Alumni Appreciation Award. So the Alumni Association Appreciation Award was developed to acknowledge and thank deserving individuals for supporting the work of the NEOMED Alumni Association. It is awarded intermittently to an individual who is an alumnus, faculty, staff, or student of NEOMED, or a colleague or friend of the university. It's someone who's volunteered his or her time to make a significant impact on the Alumni Association and the efforts of the board of directors. It's someone who's participated or significantly contributed to our various events. And it's someone who, most importantly, exemplifies a passion for helping the university and its students and serves as an excellent representative to the community. So, the first of the 2 recipients of the Alumni Appreciation Award this evening is Mrs. Dorothy Jones. Mrs. Jones is a native of Stowe, Ohio, and served as a nurse for over 22 years, 2 years at Akron City Hospital, and over 20 years at the American Red Cross in the blood program. She met her husband, Brian, while serving at Akron City, marrying him in 1955. In 1974, the Jones sold their family farm to the state of Ohio for the establishment of the Northeast Ohio University College of Medicine, the predecessor to NEOMED. According to Silver Reflections, which is a book marking the 25th anniversary of the university, she expressed happiness that a medical college was to be built on the farm. Mrs. Jones has remained connected to NEOMED, regularly visiting campus to attend university celebrations and events. She currently resides in Ravenna and is very active at the First Christian Church. For her instrumental role in the founding of NEOMED and this campus that we're all here on today, her many years of support to the institution and her commitment to the larger community, the NEOMED Alumni Association is pleased to present this year's Alumni Appreciation Award to Mrs. Dorothy Jones.
On behalf of my late husband, Brian F. Jones, who hesitated to sell his pride and joy, Sunny Lane Farm, but was greatly pleased to see the result when the medical school opened in 1977, and was a very small version of what it is today and what it will become. Even after his passing in 1980, you continue to include me in activities such as mini medical school, mentoring pharmacy students, and special events such as this. It is very important that I mention Dr. Stanley Olson, who I consider the father of the school. If you haven't read Margaret Teet's 25-year history of the school, please do so. There were many obstacles to overcome to bring this consortium together. Dr. Olson worked tirelessly to make it happen. To quote Margaret Dietz, he was tall, handsome, and regal in his appearance. His blue eyes could twinkle, pierce, or freeze the person to whom he was speaking. Thank you, Dr. Olson, and all who have come after for making it possible for us to observe this momentous occasion. I wish the school and all of you the very best in the future. Thank you.
The second recipient of the Alumni Appreciation Award this evening is Dr. Joe Zarconi from the charter class of 1981. Dr. Zarconi is the Distinguished University Professor of Internal Medicine and Clinical Director for Health Humanities Education at NEOMED, in Rootstown, where he also serves as co-course director for the 4-year longitudinal patient, physician, and community course, and its longitudinal reflective practice module. He is a recently retired nephrologist and has remained active in the teaching of medical students and residents. He has presented at state, national, and international meetings, and co-authored peer-reviewed journals and book chapters on topics related to medical education, narrative medical practice, narrative ethics, humanism, and professionalism, cultural consciousness, close reading, and social justice. Dr. Zarconi is the co-author of 2 books on narrative in healthcare. He is a member of the NEOMED Master Teacher Guild and has been recognized as a master teacher by the American College of Physicians. Last month, Dr. Zarconi gave the eulogy for NEOMED's founding dean of the College of Medicine, Dr. Robert Liebelt. In that talk, Dr. Zarconi captured the spirit of Dr. Liebelt's willingness to step up and serve others, especially in the NEOMED community. The truth is, for decades, Dr. Zarconi has lived this out in his own actions, not just his words, which is a big reason why we're all here tonight honoring him. So, for his lifelong commitment to this university, the many student lives he has impacted, his support and engagement as an alumnus himself, and the example he set for future students, the NEOMED Alumni Association is proud to present this year's Alumni Appreciation Award to Dr. Joe Zarconi from the charter class in 1981.
Thank you. Dorothy Jones, you and your husband have always been a member of my family. So thank you for your contributions. I'm honored to receive this award, and this was actually a particularly good weekend to do so, since my entire immediate family has gathered here in Northeast Ohio this weekend. I'm especially excited to have my son Chris and daughter-in-law Abby and their children Aldo and Betty here from Washington, D.C. I'm especially excited to have my son Michael and daughter-in-law Brooke here from Canton. Mike and Brooke's daughter Sophia, who is coming up on 8, had to choose between attending this event and attending her best friend's birthday party. So she's having a blast right now. And as always, I'm excited to have my wife, Debbie, here with me. This whole 49-year NEOMED journey is one that she and I have done together, hand in hand. I love having the people who mean the most to me in my life here with me tonight. And if you're wondering why my family is gathered, yes, there's an eclipse, but that's not the main reason. Eclipse Day happens to be the 40th anniversary of my youngest son, Michael's birthday. And there is certainly some cosmic significance to the fact that the universe has decided to mark Michael's 40th birthday by casting the earth into darkness. Isn't that right, Mike? But that's another whole conversation. I will say, in all honesty, that I do think that when you bring a child into the world, as Debbie and I have done twice now, the universe changes. Mostly for the parents, certainly, but I think in some way, the universe changes for all of us. This place has been a home for me. Not in the sense that I've actually lived here, although clearly there have been times when I felt like that, but home in the sense that this has been a place where I've derived a real sense of meaning, a real sense of identity, a real sense of my calling. My identities as a NEO-UConn student, a graduate, an employee, faculty member, a leader, have all meaningfully contributed to my sense of who I am, to how I think, and to what I think I'm supposed to be doing here in this world. I'm very proud of my NEOMED identities. I wouldn't trade any of it. So to be called out like this tonight is validation that at least some of it has worked, for which I'm very thankful. And finally, as I prepare to depart this institution to enter into retirement, I can't help myself for closing with my strong wishes for this place going forward. I think that health professions universities do a good job in training the next generation of the healthcare workforce in the science and technologies of medicine. I have no doubt that we can continue that here. But in the context of the health professions, science and technology have no real value unless they're consistently applied in the lives of suffering people for the purpose of mitigating their suffering. And if we, as an institution, are to ensure that our graduates can do that, skillfully do that, the faculty leadership here, the administrative leadership here, can never lose sight of the fact that medicine is, at its essence, a moral enterprise. And that medicine is, at its essence, a human enterprise. We have to continue to teach the science and technology of medical practice. But just as fervently, we also have to teach and demonstrate the art of medicine. The wonder of medicine. The awe of medicine. Always with the patients whom we are called to serve and their communities at the center of everything we do. We can never lose sight of the fact that the patient is why we are here. A heartfelt thank you to the Alumni Association for this special recognition. Thank you.
The next award is a brand new category, which was established in the fall to recognize and celebrate rising NEOMED stars in the health professions. The Emerging Leader Award is presented by the Northeastern Ohio Medical University Alumni Association to a recent graduate or someone who's graduated within the last 15 years of the university with a significant record of accomplishment, clinical practice, patient advocacy, research, education, and/or administrative leadership. Candidates also exhibit the core values of their alma mater: leadership, excellence, advocacy, diversity, equity, and respect. The first recipient of the Emerging Leader Award is Dr. Hannah Hayes from the class of 2008. Dr. Hayes is the medical director of the Central Ohio Poison Center and the Chief of Toxicology at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. She holds an appointment as Assistant Professor of Emergency Medicine and Pediatrics at Ohio State University College of Medicine and Ohio University Heritage College of Medicine. Dr. Hayes is recognized as an advocate for poison control involvement in toxicologic disaster response and has been invited to present on this topic at various institutions. She's a member of the American Poison Centers as well. Her advocacy work focuses on safe packaging of cannabis edibles in Ohio and common sense regulation of Delta-8 and other THC analogs. In this endeavor, she has testified in the Ohio Senate and House of Representatives and has worked with members of both chambers to provide evidence and experience-based packaging recommendations on Senate Bill 86, House Bill 354, and others, with the ultimate goal of preventing pediatric poisoning by these products. Dr. Hayes' research and clinical interests include emerging poisons, pediatric exploratory ingestions of cannabinoids and buprenorphine, and alternate strategies for lab detection of illicit drug exposures in children under the age of 6. For being at the forefront of care for the most vulnerable, for advocacy for protecting members of our community from harm, and the promise she has shown towards becoming a transformational leader as her career continues to unfold, the NEOMED Alumni Association is pleased to present the very first Emerging Leader Award to Dr. Hannah Hayes from the class of 2008. Dr. Hayes, please come forward to accept your award.
Wow, thank you. I'm really honored and humbled to be here and accept this Emerging Leader Award. And thank you to the Alumni Association and the college for not only recognizing my efforts, but to me, this reflects the unwavering support and guidance that I've received from this incredible institution. When I graduated, I think, like many medical students, I thought I was heading down to Ohio State, and I thought, am I going to be able to hack it as an intern, a resident, and a fellow? And it turns out that I got an amazing education here. And my husband, Mike, and I, who both graduated in 08, have said the same over and over, that we were more than prepared to succeed and couldn't be more grateful for the education that we got from NEOMED. So to the Alumni Association, the College of Medicine, thank you for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to pursue my dreams. And I also want to thank my husband, Mike, who am I getting emotional? This is not that big a deal. Mike and I met during our second year of med school, and he's been my rock. You have supported my career, so thank you. He supported my career. We both had career success together. We're raising 4 kids together, and it couldn't be greater. So thank you. So again, I'll stop. I'm not as witty as Dr. Zarconi. So I just wanted to thank you, the Alumni Association and the college, for this opportunity. I appreciate it more than you know. Thank you.
The second recipient of the Emerging Leader Award this year is Dr. James Hill from the class of 2008. Dr. Hill has devoted his career to integrating clinical care, quality improvement, and healthcare management. His educational background spans a Bachelor of Science in the Natural Sciences from the University of Akron, a medical doctorate from NEOMED, and an MBA in Healthcare Administration from Mount Vernon University, reflecting his dedication to both patient care and healthcare operations. His early career involved a transitional medicine internship at Summa Health Systems, an anesthesiology residency at the Case Metro Health Medical Center, and a critical care medicine fellowship at the Medical University of South Carolina. These experiences have critically influenced his patient-centric approach and underscore the value he places on continuous education. In his role as Chief Operating Officer at the University Hospital's Parma Medical Center, Dr. Hill has been pivotal in enhancing patient safety and care quality. His tenure as Chief Medical Officer and Associate Chief Medical Officer at the same facility allowed him to significantly advance the institution's service offerings and safety culture. Previous leadership roles include the Division Chief of Trauma Anesthesiology at Cleveland Medical Center and System Medical Director of Transfusion Service Line for University Hospital's Health System. In addition to his leadership roles, he continues to maintain an active critical care practice. Dr. Hill extends his passion for learning and teaching through his involvement with the American Society for Anesthesiologists, the American College of Healthcare Executives, and the American Association of Physician Leadership. He aims to inspire future generations towards clinical and operational excellence. He was recognized in Becker Healthcare's top 75 COOs, or Chief Operating Officers, to know in 2023. He's a respected author and speaker at national conferences on topics including patient safety, blood management, and leadership. His career exemplifies a commitment to collaborative teamwork. Highlighting how dedication, education, and partnership can significantly enhance medical care and healthcare management, Dr. Hill's journey illustrates the profound impact of blending clinical expertise with operational acumen in improving patient outcomes and healthcare delivery. So, for his demonstrated commitment to learning, teaching, and meeting a high standard of care, as well as the promise he has shown toward becoming a transformational leader as his career continues to unfold, the NEOMED Alumni Association is proud to present the Emerging Leaders Award to Dr. James Hill from the class of 2008.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, faculty, and fellow recipients, it's with immense gratitude and humility that I stand here before you today as the recipient of the NEOMED Emerging Leader Award. This recognition is not just a reflection of my individual effort, but a testament to the collective support and opportunities that have shaped my journey thus far. First and foremost, I must extend my deepest appreciation to the Northeastern Ohio Medical University for providing me with the exceptional education and fostering an environment conducive to leadership development. The values of excellence, innovation, and compassionate care instilled in me during my time here were critical to guide me towards my future endeavors. I am profoundly grateful to my mentors whose wisdom and guidance were invaluable throughout my career. Some of them are here tonight to support me. Their unwavering support and belief in my potential helped propel me forward, challenging me to push boundaries and strive for excellence. I must also acknowledge my wife, Katie, who's here with me tonight, whose unwavering love and support has been my rock through the highs and lows of my journey. Your belief in me has been a constant source of strength, and I'm endlessly grateful for your presence in my life. I'm also privileged to work alongside caregivers, in particular Dr. Christopher Dussel, who prioritizes quality and patient experience above all. With enhanced collaboration and partnership between NEOMED and university hospitals, I'm confident that we will continue to drive innovation, improve patient outcomes, and shape the future of healthcare delivery together. In closing, I want to express my deepest gratitude for NEOMED for this incredible honor, and to my mentors, colleagues, and to my family here tonight, thank you for your unwavering support. Thank you all.
The next award of the evening is the Distinguished Service Award. The Distinguished Service Award is given annually to an individual who, through their time and talents, has made a significant impact on NEOMED. This impact could result from dedication to teaching, mentoring, volunteering, or working for NEOMED. This year's honoree is NEOMED educator and researcher Dr. Hans Thooysen. Please enjoy this video.
In many ways, I think Hans Thooysen exemplifies many aspects of the NEOMED mission. Foremost is the excellence in all that he does. He's a superb teacher, an internationally renowned researcher. His research has taken him from India and Pakistan to Sitka, Alaska, and all places in between.
One of the things that I admire the most about Dr. Thooysen is his grit and his knowledge in his field. He is one of the most intelligent professors I have ever met, and his knowledge and enthusiasm of the topics just inspire me every day to be better at my craft. And I'm just so thankful for his mentorship and that I was able to meet him and incorporate him into my career here at NEOMED.
I remember how immediately impressed Dr. Singh was by Dr. Thooysen's accomplishments as both an accomplished scientist, a magnificent educator, teacher.
Hans was the ultimate academic. He is calm, he is serious, he is professional, he's a humble man, and you would never know all the accomplishments he did in the area of research and how many healthcare professionals he has mentored throughout his career. And not only does he live in the university and serve as a role model for being an academic professional, but he's a real live Indiana Jones that's located at NEOMED.
Hans van Thooysen embodies a unique blend of curiosity, scientific rigor, and educational excellence. His contributions to paleontology and his connection to NEOMED are a source of pride and inspiration. His work is a powerful reminder of the intricate connections between all forms of life and the enduring quest for knowledge.
And his whole sense of collaboration, the work that he does with the middle school and high school students, his engagement in the community, what he's done nationally in terms of bringing his work to a national audience, and frankly, then visibility to NEOMED through the national work that he's done in television, radio, and the like. And his collaborative spirit, his work across institutions and across the community in Northeast Ohio. He's clearly a leader, and his leadership, I think, just brings great attention to and even greater glory to an already wonderful institution all the time.
Congratulations, Hans. Thank you so much for your service to the NEOMED community.
NEOMED's very fortunate to have Dr. Thooysen on staff, and Dr. Singh and I were very blessed to have Hans as a precious friend for many years.
Hans, you've heard great things about yourself from me in this video, and all I can say is it couldn't cover enough.
Congratulations, Dr. Thooysen. It has been such an honor and privilege to be able to work with you these past 3 years, and I'm so happy your achievements and accomplishments are getting recognized.
Congratulations, Hans.
Hans.
For his many years of service to NEOMED and his field, for the fruits of his efforts that have enhanced the university's reputation and resources, and for his commitment to his colleagues and former and current students, the NEOMED Alumni Association is proud to present this year's Distinguished Service Award to Dr. Hans Thooysen. Please come forward to accept your award.
Okay, When I got this award, I was told that I was going to get this award. It left me pondering what service really is. You'd think I would have done that before, but it is what it is. And the analogy I came up with is an interesting one, maybe, because I think of service as part of a garment, a richly embroidered garment, maybe a shawl from Kashmir, a Kashmiri shawl. So if you don't know what those look like, those are made out of wool, and they're usually pretty drab color, brown and gray. But then there's intricate embroidery on it, and very complex pattern, very colorful. So what you see if you look at a shawl like that is the silk, patterns, and colors. But without the wool, this would just be a jumble of colorful threads, and that because you need the wool to hold the silk in place. And moreover, what's critical about the function of a shawl like that is that the warmth that it provides is done by the wool, not by the silk. So the way I think of service is that service is the wool. It's foundation work that people do to accomplish all the great things that we look at and admire that spring from that. There could be teaching, there could be research, but you need a whole roles of service to be able to understand those. So what's an example? One thing that has been occupying my time is to improve anatomy education by making it more relevant to medical and surgical practice. And what I want to do, what we started doing, is to CT scan all the body donors that we get in the anatomy lab. So we CT scan these people and then provide the students who are studying these bodies with the whole stack of CTs. Lots of schools provide CTs to the students, but it's usually of some other person. We actually provide them of the person that the student is working on. And what you get then is that a student can look at the CTs and go, oh look, there's esophageal hernia, I better watch out when I dissect the lungs. But also, as they're dissecting, they can say, wait, I'm at the kidneys now, how did that relate to the spleen? Oh, the spleen is taken out, I can't see that now. Oh, I can go back to my CTs because that's where that shows. And it's basically the same practice that surgeons do before they do surgery. They look at the imaging of the person, so it helps install that. So go back to that Kashmiri shawl idea that I had. If the cool thing that we're getting out of this practice of providing students with a stack of CTs relating to the studying they're doing and that which will help them be better physicians in the future, we need a lot of people to get those CTs to the students. We need staff from the Museum Anatomy Lab, we need my office staff, we need people in the physical plant, people in legal, people in advancement, people who advertise for body donation. All those people provide service that eventually allows us to bring this great new educational tool to the students. So if we want to do great things, we need to have people that provide great service. I think we have that at NEOMED. And I'm very grateful to the Alumni Association for thinking that I contributed to providing service to the institution. And based on that, I will stop my comments here. But the thing I still do want to do is thank 4 people for helping me with this. The first 2 are people who have been role models to me in the position that I hold currently. I started out at NEOMED in the Department of Anatomy. Its chairman was Steve Ward. I learned a lot from him. And then as a Department of Merch, I was in the Department of, still am, in the Department of Anatomy and Neurobiology, and its chairman, Jeff Runstrup, is another role model. Was and is another role model for me. And then I want to thank the 2 people, my close family, my wife Elizabeth, and my son Peter, who both are here, and from whom I'm grateful for the support they've given me all these times that I had to be at NEOMED for certain things. Some very important, some maybe less important, time away from the family. So thank you for that support. All right, thank you.
The Lifetime Achievement Award is awarded intermittently and honors an individual who over the course of his or her lifetime has provided exemplary service to the profession, to NEOMED, and to the Alumni Association. The award also honors an individual who has devoted his or her professional life to promoting the mission and values of NEOMED to improve health, economy, and quality of life in Northeast Ohio, as well as working to benefit the alumni and students of this institution. This year, the award is given to a longtime faculty member and our teacher, Dr. Philip Westerman. Please enjoy this video.
He was one of those professors that we loved immediately because it was so clear that, first of all, he's brilliant. And he was teaching arguably the hardest subject that we had to master. But he did it in a way that helped us understand it, and he not only was smart enough to teach it, but he was kind enough to teach it. He cared deeply about our learning it, so he treated us more like colleagues than students, and it was very clear that he took his work very seriously and took our education very seriously. So he was beloved from day one, and over the course of his time here, he just consistently won Teacher of the Year awards and was a faculty hooter year after year and beloved member of the faculty.
So he's a teacher by nature. The entire family are teacher by nature. They really know how to teach, how to enforce the important parts of the lectures. So he set a very good example for me to teach medical students. And I really appreciate his effort and his family effort in education.
And Stan Olson could not have hired a better guy than Phil Westerman to get the college known. Phil, I think, his big contribution to Newcomb as a new faculty member and a new program. It's a very new program. It didn't exist. It didn't before 1993 and 1973. It didn't exist. But immediately, people knew about the school because of Westerman's work. I'm quite sure there were other faculty who did this as well at Newcomb, but Phil really contributed extremely well. And he basically put him on the map.
So he had this sort of interpersonal charm that sort of broke down anything that might serve as a barrier between you and him, and made him instantly likable. And then it was very clear after working with him and interacting with him and watching the way he taught and interacted with students that he had a great love of science, he had a great love of students, and he had a great commitment to education. So I think all of those things made him, a very special teacher, and it was not surprising that he emerged as, a class favorite year after year and got so many accolades.
I think of Phil that way. I think, and as I mentioned before, he's just an ambassador to the program, a top flight. So the medical school couldn't have hired a better guy.
Congratulations, Phil, and your entire family for this honor of Lifetime Achievement Award from Alumni Association of NEOMED. You are highly deserved for this honor, for your dedication to education, research, and services to NEOMED.
So Dr. Westerman, before I congratulate you, I want to say thank you for being one of our all-time favorite teachers, for caring so much about this institution and all of us in the early days and ever since, and for your commitment to the training of the next generation of the healthcare workforce. I appreciate everything you taught me, but also your contributions to the kind of, not just physician I became, but the kind of teacher that I became. So congratulations, you're one of the coolest guys I know, and I want to be just like you when I grow up.
For his dedication and service to this university, a teaching style that made his interactions with students something to treasure, and for his pioneering spirit that helped shape this institution we know today, the NEOMED Alumni Association is proud to honor Dr. Philip Westerman with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Dr. Westerman, please come forward.
Thank you, Rajiv, for this award. I'm highly honored to receive it. Joe, thank you for your words, but I didn't teach you. I'm too young. No, it was very kind, your remarks. Tonight I've been thrilled by two events. The first one was the fact that all of my family could come here. And I'd like to just introduce them to you. My daughter Natasha here, who's doing the signing, to Alex back there, and her husband, Dan, who played for many years in the US Army Field Band and was our chauffeur on a recent trip to Ireland. Me and Richie had to drive on the other side of the road and use the stick shift. To my son-in-law Ben, back there, who is the father of two children way back, Carson Barlow and Maya Barlow. And thank you for being here. And then Natasha and Dan have three children. They live in Laurel, Maryland, and they've driven all the way from there tonight. And the three children are Sam, who actually I found out tonight played a pivotal role in rerouting traffic around Baltimore due to the bridge failure. Then there is Kylie and her boyfriend, Fox. And finally, Benjamin has just been accepted into Temple University as a music major, jazz in particular. So, now the other thing that thrilled me tonight, the second thing, was to see students from the charter class come up to me and just remember the days when they took a risk to be involved in this program, and I actually took a risk to take a position here. When I first came here in 1976 for my job interview, this institution existed as a single steel girder sticking out of the ground. Well, look at it today. So it's been amazing. I have to teach with teaching aids, so I'm going to use these. My daughter Natasha gave this to me when she was 4 or 5 years old, and I've kept it on my desk or in my top drawer for my whole career. She didn't understand what I was doing at a medical school, but she knew I'd got a position at a medical school. And to me, this just symbolized the fact that it was all about family. You know, it was not just about me. I was not just on an ego trip. I was doing this because of the legacy I was going to leave. And so I have valued this all my life. So thank you, Natasha. There's a couple of other people I would like to mention. Firstly, the man who hired me was Frank Hooder. he was a prisoner in World War II in Austria. He was in a labor camp, and he came here and established a program to study an enzyme system called cytochrome P450, which exists in the liver and is very important in metabolizing drugs and foreign compounds, as well as in the biosynthesis of important physiological compounds. He hired me, and he showed faith that I would be able to contribute to his effort to study this enzyme system. He had a brilliant concept. He would apply a multidisciplinary approach to look at this enzyme system. He would include a physical chemist, which I was, and he would include a molecular biologist and a classical biochemist. And we were to write a grant proposal to the NIH. Well, things didn't turn out that way, actually. We spent the first year many hours writing that grant proposal. It wasn't funded, and I'll come back to that in a few minutes to explain how that was good and bad. Dr. Hooder and myself and my colleague Dr. Steggles, who some of you will remember, we decided that we would teach biochemistry a different way. And we would use as a model this little critter called a red blood cell. Now, it doesn't have eyes like my little mascot does, but this is a million times bigger than the real red blood cell. And why do we choose this? Because biochemistry was simple. The biochemistry within this little cell was simple and nothing like a liver cell or a hepatocyte. And the other interesting thing is that we could trace from a single mutation in the red blood cell precursor, we could trace the change in the protein structure hemoglobin, then the change in the function of the molecule hemoglobin, and if something went wrong, we could explain the pathology. It was very logical. And this proved to be a very successful teaching model. And that was reflected by our results in biochemistry on nationally administered exams. And indeed, you may not know that the school was almost closed down in 1981 due to a budgetary crisis in the state of Ohio. And one of the arguments in favor of keeping the school funded by the state was that how come this infant medical school could achieve results comparable to the national average and above the national average. And there were a couple of programs that achieved great success in the early days. And this was used by our administrators to bolster our argument to keep this school open. So I owe a lot to Dr. Hooder. And Dr. Hooder's widow, Maria Hooder, is alive today and was intending to come tonight. And I hope that you are recording this because I hope Maria will hear this. But I owe a lot to her and to Frank Hooder. And Audrey Benida, no longer Benida,
But always.
is the daughter of Swanee Benida. So Swanee, could you stand up, please? Thank you, Swanee, for your contribution. Now, I said that our initial center project was not funded by the NIH. I was rescued by two things that occurred. Firstly, in the second year of my teaching, I was awarded a Teacher of the Year award. And this was amazing to me because I came to the school not really as a classical biochemist, but as a physical organic chemist with expertise in nuclear magnetic resonance. And I realized I had an aptitude for teaching, And so that was the second year. But the second really important event that occurred was that when our center project was not funded by the NIH, a man who has given a presentation on the video, Dr. Bill Down, who's sitting at our table here, professor of physics, director of the internationally known Liquid Crystal Institute for many years, entrepreneur extraordinaire and inventor extraordinaire. We got engaged in a conversation one day, and we found out that we had mutual interests. I was trained as an organic chemist. I could make compounds. I could make phospholipids. I could synthesize cholesterol. I could replace hydrogen atoms with deuterons and with fluorine atoms, and use these foreign atoms as a probe. And we would probe membranes. And what's interesting is the membrane surrounds the red blood cell and every living cell in the body and every organelle within a cell. And that membrane is a liquid crystal. And it only forms in the presence of water. And he had expertise in other types of liquid crystals that are used in displays, TVs, and so on. But he also knew the technique of deuterium nuclear magnetic resonance, and that was my field. And so we realized that our skills were complementary, and he was very kind. He allowed me to use his instrument at Kent State, and so we went on to get some preliminary data submitted to the NIH, and we were funded by the National Institutes of Health. And we produced quite a few papers over the years, and the other great benefit that I achieved by my association with the Liquid Crystal Institute was what I call the Italian connection. And Bill went to Southern Italy, a university in Southern Italy for many years, and he introduced me, and I ended up going to a university in Southern Italy for many years, and what a wonderful experience that was, culturally, intellectually, and I obtained some students from Southern Italy as well. And so things have turned out really well. And so in terms of my legacy, I would put family number one. But in terms of that, this award is certainly an affirmation of what I have achieved professionally. And so I have really enjoyed these 33 years that I spent at NEOUCOM. I still keep calling it NEOUCOM, my apologies. But it's NEOMED. So thank you again for everybody attending, and thank you for this award. I'm highly honored. Thank you.
The final award of the evening is the Distinguished Alumni Award, the highest honor the Northeast Ohio Medical University bestows upon its alumni. The award recognizes alumni who transcend their fundamental role as health professionals and who are leaders in the advancement of education, research, or service. It is awarded to a NEOMED grad who has demonstrated notable accomplishments in leadership, community service, teaching, education, research, and volunteering. This year's award is Dr. Joseph Congini from the class of 1984. Please enjoy this video.
You know, when people ask me how I would define an outstanding physician, I like to start with, first of all, them being an outstanding human being. They're genuine, they're real, they're approachable. And Dr. Joe Congini is all of those. And when you put on top of that his knowledge base, his, again, desire to be the best at what he does, his ability to connect with families, connect with the patients that he serves, all that you put together, and you have someone that is world class. You have someone that is the best, and you have someone that's very deserving of a Distinguished Alumni Award from NEOMED. Joe, you deserve all of that. Thank you for everything you've done and how you've touched so many lives including the lives of the Considine family.
His colleagues would say that he loves his patients. He has such a good connection with his patients and his athletes. He wants to get them back to their sport, be healthy and happy and enjoy their sports. He's just encouraging. He makes you feel good when you're having a bad day. He just gets you excited. He pumps you up. He is excited to work here, and he just makes you feel good about yourself.
So, in my experience with Joe, he's always been an innovator. He's always been a collaborator. His commitment to service in both sporting events, schools, is really unsurpassed. And I think we always have to keep in mind that he really is a pioneer in his field. He started the Children's Hospital Pediatric Sports Medicine from the ground up. And he was really there during the time when pediatric sports medicine was in its infancy. So he's looked at as a national leader.
I've said many times to Joe and to others, especially here as he's thinking of kind of transitioning into different roles in his career, that there'll never be another Joe Congini. And I say that because, you know, we've got lots of great physicians and members of our team. Joe's passion and care for his patients and their parents is really unprecedented. In all my career and all my training and all the locations, I've not seen a physician so invested in the outcome of his patients. The extra special care with, you know, after-hours phone calls to check on his patients, confirming that follow-ups are appropriate with surgeons whom he's referred, follow-up with athletic trainers and physical therapists, being certain that all his patients are really treated in a concierge fashion is just unparalleled.
Dr. Congini, I am humbled to work with you alongside next to you. You are so deserving of this award, so congratulations.
Joe, I want you to know that I believe that this community is a better place because of you. Through your involvement in through sports medicine with the different schools, from grade school through high school into college, you've made an impact, not only as a physician, but as an individual. And your example that you set is unsurpassed. You've been an example to me throughout our life, and I appreciate that. And I just want you to know, which I'm sure you already do, I love you, Joe.
Congratulations, Dr. Congini. Your impact in the region and in the nation is really unparalleled and exponentially difficult to track. Your academic record, your leadership, your innovation in education, your commitment to training residents and fellows really exponentially expands the impact on the patients you've cared for to all the patients all of us have cared for. Very, very well deserved, and as I've said many times, there'll never be another Joe Congini. Congratulations, Joe. You've knocked this one out of the park, guy. And you deserve all the recognition. You deserve our thanks. And God bless you, fella, for being who you are. Keep up that good work and be a great grandpa. You continue to show your love to Karen, and let's celebrate tonight. Hip, hip, hooray.
For his professional excellence, service to the community, the countless athletes he has helped redeem the competition, his leadership and legacy in the area of sports medicine, and for the tremendous example he sets for our current and future students, the NEOMED Alumni Association is very proud to present the Distinguished Alumni Award to Dr. Joseph Congini for the class of 1984. Dr. Congini, please join me at the podium.
Who is it they were talking about? It's really hard to understand that, but thank you, Rashid. Thanks, David. Did Eric take off on me? Is he worried I'm going to go over 7 minutes in my talk? Has he heard about my talks at some of my daughter's weddings? I'm incredibly honored. I really appreciate this so much. But I have to say that when I got the call, the email, I thought they had the wrong number. And then I thought, is my phone number or my email address? How in the world could I be getting an award like this? It's just amazing to me. So thank you. Part of the reason is when I came to NEOMED, I wasn't somebody who had the perfect score on the MCATs or the I wasn't somebody who had accomplished a whole lot necessarily from the standpoint of my academic career. I was what they call a backdoor person. I just thought that, hey, we have to round out the class. I went undergrad to Notre Dame, and there were all these valedictorians, and there were all these people that were the highest in their class. And I had a group of friends with me, and we said, gosh, if we could just knock on that door, bang on that door, wow, the video really has me thrown for a loop. But if I could just get them to open the door just a crack, just open just a little bit, I think I could do some things in this field to help some people, help kids and stuff. And so that's really what I wanted to do. Dr. Westerman, one of the medical miracles really that you were involved with is how did you get me through freshman biochemistry? I had absolutely not a clue in freshman biochemistry, not a clue in all that stuff you just showed. I broke into a cold sweat when I saw it. My picture is on one of those videos. It's unbelievable. Really, one of the biggest accomplishments of your career was getting me through freshman biochemistry in about 81 or 82, whatever year it was. But when I started to think about what had I done that made any difference at all, I talked about the 3 T's, and the 3 T's for me that I was blessed with was timing, teammates, and trust. And so, gosh, a lot of my teammates took the time out on Saturday night to come tonight. I'm so appreciative for that. I've always been blessed with great teammates and timing. I'll talk about trust in a moment, but from that standpoint, one of the T's that you didn't hear me mention was talent. I never had an overabundance of talent. I was moderate in talent at best. And so from the standpoint of I had to find ways through timing and teammates and other things to accomplish what we were able to accomplish. So I'm really appreciative that I got a chance to see NEOMED. I came back from Notre Dame, and they said, hey, you got to go see this place. I go, where is it? It's in Northeast Ohio. I go, I'm going there. I mean, I love Northeast Ohio. This is the place I want to practice. And all these people I was in school with wanted to go to all these other fancier places. And, wow. NEOMED was, Northeast Ohio was really the place I wanted to be. And so I came here. The school wasn't even 2/3 finished. I got a tour of the place, and I said, oh my gosh, I love the place. It's great. And they said, okay, you're going to get to do rotations at a lot of the Northeast Ohio great facilities that we have here. And I got a chance to do a lot of rotations in Northeast Ohio. I said, this is where I want to be. And then in my second year, I got the chance to go to a world-class institution by the name of the Akron Children's Hospital. Oh my gosh, this really was an amazing place to be right in our hometown, and I was just really kind of blown away by it, and that's kind of where I wanted to be. And then as timing would have it, the think tank at Akron Children's Hospital at the time, one member of the think tank, Mr. Constantine is here. Our longtime orthopedic director, Denny Weiner, was part of that, and Dr. Kramer was a part of that. They called me in, they said, we have a sports medicine center here, but there's no pediatric person running it. It's all adult people running it because there are no peds people that are trained anywhere in the country. And they said, would you think as a part of what you're doing, would you go off to some other centers and learn the discipline of sports medicine, bring it back, see if you want to do it. And oh my gosh, the light bulb went off. This is exactly what I want to do. I mean, I love school-age kids. I love high school kids. I love sports. This is perfect for me. And so I got the opportunity to go to a lot of different places. And in 1988, we were the first sports medicine center in the country to have our first children's hospital in the country to have a sports medicine center. And in 1990, we were the first one to have a training program. We trained, I think, 46 fellows. I think the guys at that table were telling me, I think it's 46 fellows that we've had. Many are at some of the better institutions around the country that we've gotten the opportunity to train at children's hospitals. So we've been incredibly lucky to get a chance, blessed to do that. So I came back and they said, okay, we'll give you a staff of 4 people and let's see how it goes at Akron Children's with the sports medicine center here. And I said, excuse me a second, are you going to pay me? Will I get paid at all for this deal? And they go, yeah, you'd be like a 5th-year resident. You get paid a little bit. Let's just see how it goes. And so I got the opportunity, and so many great people wanted to be a part of the team. Trainers, athletic trainers, physical therapists, orthopedists that joined our team. And does Northeast Ohio love its sports? Does Northeast Ohio love Akron Children's Hospital? The place was really busy early on. It had nothing really much to do with me. It became very busy. And I think I was asking Shay the other day, she had a lot of the comments that was on that talk. I think we have 97 people, or 79 people in sports medicine right now. We have 10 satellite locations. We have 26 high schools that we take care of. We've gotten a chance to train a lot of people. And oh my gosh, this guy up here that I never would have thought that I'd break down tonight, but I don't know, that video really got me going. But 38 years, that really should be the end of my talk. I should probably sit down right now. Where's Eric? Hey, I'm up on my time already. So 38 years, but I'm not quite done. I have a couple more things I want to talk about. So from the standpoint of the opportunity that we got to do that, a couple of other things happened. A lot of people began to understand that kids' sports injuries are very different than adult injuries. And a lot of people from around the state within an hour, hour and a half started sending their kids to see us, and our place grew a lot. And we have such bright, super people. The rule for me always at my center was if we were working at our center, one rule is everybody who worked with me had to be smarter than me. I mean, that was pretty easy bottom line rule. And we had such smart and good people that wanted to work with us that the sports medicine center grew very quickly. But you really have a good benefit if you have a place that's kind of your go-to place. And in 1987, they told me, hey, go up the hill over there near Children's. It's about a 5-minute drive to a place called Archbishop Hogan High School. And I went up to Hogan High School, and they said, hey, again, with timing, the team doctor just left last year, and I got there under the dome, and they gave me this warm embrace. I mean, I'm like, what the heck? And they treated me like gold at Hogan High School, and in the year 2024, they still treat me like gold at Children's High at Archbishop Hogan, and they've treated my kids so well that it's been an absolute labor of love. And getting a chance to work at Hogan, I have to thank them for what I've gotten a chance to do down at Children's as well. And then finally, how could you possibly stand up here and not mention the most important thing to me is my family? I mean, it's my rock. Somebody else mentioned the rock tonight. My family is my rock. There's no question about it. Nothing else that I talked about in the last 10 minutes would have mattered nearly as much if it wasn't for having my family. And my family, many of them came in from out of town and everything. We're here. So appreciative. We have 6 kids. Last year we had 2 weddings, so we survived that year. So what are you crying about? You just got 6 all your weddings out of the way. All 6 of my kids are married. I can't believe it. I mean, I'm a baseball guy. 6 for 6 is a pretty good batting average. All 6 of these kids, I love all of my the kids that they married. And now the real fun begins. We've gotten a chance to enjoy our grandkids. And You know, it doesn't matter if you have 1 grandkid or 7 grandkids, they're all so much fun because you survive that first layer of work, which is raising your own kids. And so we feel like we've survived that. We have a blast with the kids when they come. Franny, their prayers for Franny and Travis. They have number 8 coming very soon with Francesca. And so we're incredibly blessed. But I still haven't gotten to the most important point about that. And the most important point about that is my wife, of course. She runs the whole show when we're at home. And again, 1987 must have been a really good year for me. In 1987, they told me, hey, move into North Hill in Akron, you'll like it there. I found a little apartment there. I was going to a church and I saw this lady that was teaching first grade, this young lady. I have to admit, she caught my eye, no doubt about it. And I watched, she was first grade teacher. And then like 4 weeks later, this is no lie, I'm on the wards at Children's on the neurology ward, and I see her doing nursing, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? I mean, this is a hard-working lady. She's working 2 jobs, and then we started going out. I was talking to her. She's like the smartest person I ever met, and I go, why didn't you take my spot at NEOMED? I mean, really, you're from Talmadge. You really should have been at NEOMED. And she said, that wasn't my dream. That was your dream. My dream is to be, the best mother that I could be. And, to develop our kids to be the best that they could be. And so the one thing I really wanted to accomplish tonight was to give the Distinguished Service Award in Motherhood in our little part of the world to my wife, Karen. The point with 3 T's was trust. Remember, not the talent part. Never the brightly talented guy in the group, but worked hard. But in the trust area, what I mean by that is trust and faith and hope is so important in the field that we have here. And none of this at NEOMED matters if we don't have trust and faith and hope and total trust. And so some days I'm solid, I feel like I'm doing great. Other days I stumble around and it's not the greatest, but that's really my goal for the rest of my life, is to have trust as much as I can. And hey, maybe the reason with that trust is part of the reason that with those 3 T's, the timing worked out so well for me. Maybe that's part of why we always had a great team. Every time we needed a new physical therapist to fill a specific role, that person immediately was at our doorstep. And every time that we needed a really bright, well, we have a whole table full of very bright sports medicine people here. And so trust is such an important part. And I just want to mention, thank you, Lord, for this night, for the opportunity to get a chance to be a part of this. It means so much to me and to my family. And thank you so much, NEOMED, for bringing this group back together. What a bright group. It really brings a lot of hope. NEOMED is not a shell of itself anymore when you see this place. Does it look like a shell that's an unfinished place? This place is really moving in the right direction. I told many people that tonight. The technology here is fantastic. The young talent here, you heard some of the people speak tonight, and you know some of the young talent that we have coming up at NEOMED. You know some of the stories of people and what they've accomplished in the past. And so you know what's going on at NEOMED. NEOMED, when I was coaching my kids in basketball, and there was a timeout and we were doing well, I'd tell them, you guys are en fuego, you're on fire. NEOMED is en fuego, it's on fire. And part of the reason that it's en fuego right now is because of the amazing leader that we have in Dr. Langell. I've gotten a chance to meet with him on a couple of occasions, and this guy has this institution going places. In the next 3 to 5 years, you keep an eye on NEOMED. It's going places. I have no doubt about it. And also, it would be so remiss to not also say at Children's, thank you so much for giving us in sports medicine the trust and supporting our team and letting us grow. Children's is in an area, man, it's really competitive in Northeast Ohio. There's a lot of great medical institutions, but Children's somehow still continues to find its way to be at the top of that list. And so I think that's where Children's will continue to stay. We have a very dynamic leader in the name of Chris Gessner too, who's also bringing us to new heights. And so with this much talent, this much hope at NEOMED, I want to just say today, the best at NEOMED is yet to come. At NEOMED, the best is yet to come. And thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this night. It means so much to me to be at such a hopeful night like tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Congini. And congratulations to all of our recipients. You are all truly deserving of these honors and exemplify the type of transformational leaders that make all of us proud. Thank you for your commitment to NEOMED and the fields of education, research, and healthcare. As the Alumni Association strives to honor and recognize alumni, faculty, staff, and other members of our community, we ask all of you to help us to identify individuals who may be deserving of these honors by submitting your nominations for the next cycle. Look for communications sometime in October announcing the opening of the nomination process. Your Alumni Association is here to serve you, and we invite you to all get involved. If you would like to volunteer your time and talents, please see any of our board members in attendance tonight or contact Dave Vitito, Senior Director of Alumni Relations, to learn more. So this brings us to the end of the award portion of tonight's festivities. As we close, I ask all award recipients and Dr. Langell to join our photographer for some additional pictures by the NEOMED backdrop. All other guests are welcome to stay and socialize. And if you're heading home, please drive safely. Thank you so much.